Hello and welcome to the World Reflexology Foundation. We are a group of reflexologists who have a passion for helping people have better health. And in fact, we have a belief that if people around the world had reflexology to use on themselves, that the world could be a healthier place. Our mission is to improve health worldwide through self-help reflexology. What's reflexology? Reflexology is a way of helping ourselves to stay in good health. It's called prevention. And if we do have aches and pains and different discomforts, then it's a way of sometimes helping us feel better. How is it done? Well, reflexology is done by using our touch in nurturing ways on maps of the body that are believed to exist on the feet, on the hands, and on the outer ears. And let's take a look at some charts that'll show you what reflexology is visually. So now let's take a look at the World Reflexology Foundation color coordinated chart. If you notice on the left, there's the human body, the lady, but it would be the same for the man, and the colors from the top to the bottom, from the top of her head to her feet. Well, we're going to take a look at those in a minute, but notice on the feet and hands, that they're also the same colors, going from the top down to the heel of the feet and the wrist of the hands. So let's take a look. Notice the purple color of her head and neck. But that color is color coded. If you go to the toes, you notice it's the same purple color as it is in the fingers. That's indicating if you have problems, stress in your head and neck, that you would go to the fingers and toes to help get relief. If you come to the body again and notice the blue, that's for the chest area. And that means chest in front, heart and lungs inside, everything inside the chest, and then the shoulders and back, because when the shoulders are actually the top and back of the chest. And we go to the same color, the blue, on the feet and on the hands. And now if we go back to the human body, we look at the yellow and the orange. The yellow is upper abdomen, the orange is lower abdomen. And that's where you'd work on the feet, the yellow for upper abdomen, and the heels for lower abdominal pelvic area. And on the hands, similarly, the yellow for upper abdomen, the heel of the hands, the orange for lower abdominal pelvic area issues. So that's for the feet, hands, and ears as far as from the top down. Now let's take a look at the legs. Notice they're red, and you go to the small red spots on the feet and on the hands. Notice the cursor that's showing you. And then go to the arms. Notice the green representing the arms. And notice the cursor is going to show us on the outer edge of the feet, below the small toe to the heel, and also the outer edge of the hands from the small finger down to the wrist. And then down the middle of the human body, notice that there's something that looks like a ladder. And that's representing the spinal reflex area from the neck all the way down to the lower pelvis area. And if we go to the feet, notice where the feet come together below the big toe down to the heel. That's for the spinal reflexes on the feet. And then the hands, similarly, where below the thumb down towards the wrist for spinal issues. Then let's go to the ears and think when we were children, we used to try to do headstands on the ears, headstands. And notice the purple is on the bottom instead of the top. That's because the image of the human body and the outer ear is upside down. So for head and neck issues, the purple, we'd work with the earlobe area. The blue is for the chest reflex area. The yellow and orange are for the upper and lower abdominal areas. The red is for the legs, leg reflexes. The green for arm reflexes. Shoulder all the way up to the finger top where the cursor is now. That would be for the fingertips. And then notice the spinal reflexes, that curved area. So these are the maps that we use for the feet, hands, and outer ears, showing you what the concept of reflexology and the reflexology pressure maps.
First off, we already learned that our first priority to work for allergies are the ears. So take a moment to look at this chart more close up, where we're going to hold for the allergies, for getting rid of allergies or reducing allergies at least. So it will be at the top of the ear here. And I will be showing you on my ear. Yeah. So I will show you on this big ear first where to go. Then I show you on my ear, and please then follow along. So the allergy point is at the very highest part of the ear. When you work on yourself, you probably want to use your thumb and find the outer ridge of the ear and put the thumb, the tip of the thumb underneath of that fold. It's like the outer ridge is folding there. You put the thumb underneath and put the index finger on top and just gently squeeze. Now let's try this out on our own ears. I show it on my left ear first. I put my thumb underneath the outer ridge and put the index finger on top. And now I have the ridge between my index finger and thumb and gently squeeze. Both parts here are important for relieving allergies, the part underneath the ridge and on top of the ridge. Gently squeeze. It doesn't have to hurt to work. Now, as Tina said, we have two ears. So let's find the allergy point on the other ear too. Put the thumb underneath the ridge, index finger on top, and gently squeeze. And now we're dropping our shoulders. If you have a table in front of you, it's okay to put your elbows in front of on the table in front of you. Or maybe at home when you do this, sitting relaxed back, have a big pillow on your stomach, on your belly, and put the elbows down. The important part is that we're not hiking our shoulders up. We want to be as relaxed as possible. Now, while we are holding this together, I hope you found all your allergies point. It's really the highest point of the outer ridge. Relax, you may close your eyes, and let's hold this for a moment. Keep breathing gently in and out. And while you're holding this, or while we're holding the allergy point all together here, I'll tell you a little story. One of my friends, one of my good friends, we were out for lunch with a couple of girlfriends, and one of my friends is highly allergic to cilantro. Now, we were all so happy to see each other, and she forgot to tell the waiter, I'm allergic to cilantro. Please do not put any cilantro in my food. So she took her first bite and pretty much immediately said, oh, there is cilantro in it. She felt a tickling, didn't feel any swelling up. So it was not a high allergic reaction, but she certainly felt a small allergic reaction with some tingling. Now, we know each other well. I went immediately behind her and held the allergy point for maybe a minute or a minute and a half until she said, oh, it's already starting to release. I don't feel it so much anymore. I'll be fine. We had a wonderful lunch, and of course, I showed her how to do this point if there is another incident where she has an allergic reaction. So not only did I hold it for her, but I showed her how to do it herself when I'm not there. So With that said, we're holding this point now for a few minutes. At home, of course, as Tina said, we can hold it much longer. So we're moving on because we also want to show you where to work on the feet and the hands. Take a nice deep breath and exhale and gently let go. All right. Tina, back to you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. That was amazing. I love working on the ears. I don't know about you guys, but it just, whew, just brings you right down. Doesn't matter what the point is. It just seems to always just kind of mellow you right out. So great demonstration. Next up, we have Sage, and she is going to demonstrate on our feet. Sage, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to wait for Stephanie to bring up this lovely image of the area that we will be focusing on. And you'll notice that on the screen, the darker area refers to the upper soft sole area of the foot, and that is the liver reflex. So some of you may be wondering, why do we focus on the liver reflex? Well, the liver itself has many functions. One of its primary functions is to actually filter toxins from the blood. Now, these toxins can include environmental pollutants that can trigger allergic responses. So as the allergens go through the body into the liver, it then acts as a filter to break down these allergens. So I'm going to bring up my plastic feet because it's a little bit easier to show you on this rather than to try to hoist my foot up. For those of you that are much more flexible, you can then place an ankle, we would start with our right foot, over the top of your left thigh and then proceed to work on it. When we proceed to the left foot, then you would alternate left ankle on top of the right thigh. So as you'll notice, I have it indicated with my white paper here, the areas that we are going to focus on. So I will demonstrate first. So starting with the right foot, we're going to do the basic thumb walk or thumb roll that many of you I'm sure are already familiar with. Now I'm going to start on the inside or the medial edge of my right foot on the upper soft sole area. And we're going to gently thumb walk or thumb roll across. Now you may hit a spot when we start this that's a little tender or sore or maybe feels a little thick. You may want to hold it a few more seconds, several breaths, whatever feels appropriate for you, until you start to feel it soften, or if it was painful, maybe not feeling quite so tender or painful, or maybe it goes away completely. And then we would proceed to work across the foot all the way to the outside or lateral edge of the foot, and then repeat from the inside all the way to the outside, holding wherever we feel that we need to hold a little bit longer, and then work our way across all the way through this upper soft sole area. You can even come back and maybe go at different directions. Whatever feels appropriate or good, it feels good for you. Once we focused on the right, then we can proceed to the left foot. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to use my index finger, but you could, of course, and most likely would be using your thumb to walk across or thumb roll across this area. It's a little smaller area, but I still like to focus on it because who knows, you may have a little spot in that area of your liver that needs to be addressed. So by addressing it through the liver reflex on the left foot, we are helping it as well. So for those of you that are ready, we can proceed to working on your feet. And then for those of you that are willing, perhaps I can watch and see what you're doing. So we'll start and walk across, giving people a little extra time to get positioned accordingly. And then we will just walk across the foot using that wonderful thumb roll or thumb walk, addressing areas of tension, restriction, sensitivities, and then continue on. Here we go. All right. And when you're ready, you can proceed to this little tiny area on your left foot. All right. Very good. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sage. That was wonderful. Great demonstration and lots of good information. She brought up a good point in regards to, you will notice that the demonstration on the ears and then the demonstration on the feet and the hand are different. With the ears, we hit an actual allergy point. With on the feet and the hands, we're going to be reflexing through the liver, which, as Sage said, that's our major detoxifying organ. So thank you for bringing that up, Sage. Okay, next up, let's give a big hand for Paul, who's going to be demonstrating on the hands. Woo!
Hello, everybody. So we're going to be showing how to work on our right hand primarily for this the liver reflexes on the right hand. If you recall a few minutes ago when Bill was talking about priority reflexing, unfortunately, the hand one is at the bottom of the list. But you know, it's the easiest one typically to reach and to work if you're also trying to you're in a public place and maybe you're at lunch or in a meeting and you feel something coming on in the way of an allergy. You can work the right hand. So here's our right hand. We're going to show you where the liver reflex is. It actually comes all the way across the hand, just under, you'll notice where the fingers attached to the hand, just barely under that. And you'll also notice that as we turn the hand, the reflex points for the liver come around the edges. And the inside, they come around the edge here. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit, and then we're going to do this together. So we can just work across the hand either up or down this way within this liver reflex area, or we can work across this way. There's really no particular order or rule that we go by, but as we've heard from Sage, if you feel an area that is a little bit tender, maybe needs a little bit more work, so you're going to kind of work on an area and concentrate on that area. Okay. So if everyone has your right hand free, let's take a couple of nice deep breaths and let's work on this together. Okay, so starting from the outside underneath the pinky finger, we come around the edge, we work up this way a bit. We come around the edge a little bit farther, almost to the top side of the hand. And then we come back, working this nice, easy thumb crawl motion. Nothing needs to be painful. Nothing needs to be uncomfortable, except when you come across those areas that might need a little bit more work. And then let's say there's one, well, this kind of painful area, a little bit tender right here. So we're just going to work on that a little bit more. Kind of a circular motion or a rolling upwards motion with that thumb walking across this area. And then we're moving along this way, coming all the way across, all the way across, all the way across, continuing until we reach the edge of the hand here, showing this with my forefinger just for representation, because this one also comes around the edge. So we're coming around the edge now of the liver reflex, working that whole entire area. And then we can come back, working straight across, coming back this way, slowly or a little faster, depending on your situation, where you are. And that, my friends, is the liver reflex located on the right hand on the palmar surface. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening, and thanks for doing that demo with me.
It was good to see a lot of you working on yourself, following along, not only watching, but also working on yourself. That's the idea. And by the way, in this video, we had to go very quickly to cover a lot of information. What we encourage you to do is to, like I'm going to do with my voice now, is slow down. Spend a lot of time working on those reflexes as frequently as you reasonably can as well. Now, after you do reflexology, it's often suggested to drink extra fluids to help keep yourself hydrated. And coming back to the reflexes for a moment, remember the top priority is the one that you want to work on most. If you don't have time to do all three, be sure to do the first one if you can physically. We'd love for you to share this information, help us spread the information around. We are a 501c3 nonprofit and also non-vocational. So it's self-help work that we teach here. And one of the things that we could ask your help for, we already mentioned one, which is to share this with friends and neighbors, family members. But also, we would appreciate your donations. Why? Because although we all at the World Reflexology Foundation, we're all volunteers, it costs us money to get some of the projects done that we're working on. For example, we're translating a lot of the articles that are on the website. If you go to the website, worldreflexologyfoundation.org, you notice that there are a lot of articles there, and also they're being translated into other languages from around the world, a long-term project, and also the videos. And eventually we'll get to having all the videos with voiceovers from around the world as well. So all of these projects are ambitious. They do take quite a bit of money. So if you have the situation where you could donate, we would appreciate your helping us, but just be as generous as you can. But most importantly, it's not to help us with the projects as much as to help us get the projects out to the world, to help the world be, as we said at the beginning, to help the world be a healthier place through self-help reflexology. So bless you. Thank you so very much for being with us. And until the next time, we wish you very vibrant, good health.